Hey there, Smite fans. Thank you for your patience. We did have to inhale some food quickly in between the break there. We are human after all, but we are ready to go with our second set for the day. This time it's Fnatic once again taking on Titan Org, however, not taking on the boys of Trig, where they definitely struggled with.
Yeah, Titan definitely looks very strong, but Fnatic is a team with the doubleheader. They played just before, they're going to play again, so let's take a look at their profile as we bring the 5 members up on screen.
Badger, Captain Twig, Maniac, Reels, and Zeros. It's support, jungler, solo laner, hunter, and mid laner in that order there. The squad has been always kind of characterized as being excellent LAN players and solid online play.
Right, their online play definitely solid. I wouldn't use too many positive superlatives. They're generally like neutral.
Yeah.
Neutral or positive occasionally. Not really a team that really stands out. They weren't top of the pack last year with online play. When they come to the LANs, on the backs of Reels and Maniac, definitely more excitable players, it sort of, well, turns up. So we'll see if that can translate, if they can have a better season this time around, because as we saw in the games and we heard from Trixtank, this squad has been playing with a little bit of a mix-up. Mid laner and jungle have switched positions.
But let's take a look over at their opponents today. It's Titan. And these guys coming off of a second-place finish at the World Championships, the Cinderella story coming out of the Amateur League. It's Arachne, Confrey, Kanye Life, Pretty Prime, and Repicas. And, well, they've been nothing outside of excellent. You know, all the superlatives that we wouldn't use to describe Fnatic's online play, we will use to describe Titan's play as a whole. Known for what's kind of come to be known as the perfect play style, which is that you just don't make mistakes. You try to play the game, you play your game, and you play it perfectly, and you don't allow room for the enemy team to kind of make their way in. A style also notably played by the current TSM squad in North America, formerly COG Red. Those two were really the standouts in execution from last year. We'll see if they can continue it forward. And a lot of that's going to come down to a specific matchup, Tom. Why don't you tell us about that one?
Yeah, Titan generally tends to be a more team-oriented, like a unit-oriented team, but we are going to look at the Hunter role right now, as Reels is more of Reels is more of a standout player on Fnatic. Arachne definitely does the job. It does it well. 497 gold per minute compared to 363 across the way over on Reels, and that KDA is, well, big difference.
Reels they didn't have a great showing in their first set. I mean, these stats are fairly limited, especially for the teams that are coming out of the World Championship qualifying. It's 2 games apiece here. So Arachne in those 2 games has done quite well. Reels, as we saw, did not do so well in those last couple. But certainly 2 capable players. Arachne, definitely keep your eye out for those non-standard, definitely non-crit-based builds out of his hunters. The unicorn, if you will. But let's move into picks and bans and see exactly how this one shakes out, guys. It's Fnatic versus Titan. And we're underway. The top side of your screen is Titan. The bottom side is Fnatic. So with the first pick and ban, it's the boys in blue. Titan, what do you got?
So we're going to see the first ban come out. Poseidon going to be banned out. Definitely they seem to be targeting some of the more new player-friendly mid laners. We saw this a lot when Shing transitioned into the solo lane. A lot of the Raws and the Chalks were banned out against him, forcing him into more, role-specific, more knowledge-based characters. And that's sort of might be where Titan's leaning. Take out the Poseidons, take out the Kukulkans, and really make you work to play this mid lane since we know you're new at it.
And Titan, I don't know how you beat this team. It's just like a how do you want to lose kind of proposition, right? So they're going to ban out Repicas on the Thor. Wouldn't be surprised to see Serqet banned as well to also target Repi. But then Titan is liable to first pick Ares against you. Or they'll take the Ymir and shut you down. Kanye Life, known for a really standout Ymir. Confrey here in the solo lane, also we've seen him dominate games, especially with healers in the solo lane, similar to Maniac in that regard. But it's Athena that Fnatic elects to ban. They don't want to give away that first pick initiator. And so that leaves quite a bit open for Titan, and they will go for Repicas' Serqet.
Yeah, Confrey definitely previously looked at as sort of a weak link on the team. These days has really been doing his job in Season 2.
Yeah, well, with 2 response picks, they're going to come out of Fnatic here. Xbalanque going to go off the board quickly, and what are they going to follow this one up with? And, of course, that puts the question mark on the board of whether or not Titan will be selecting Cupid to go into that Xbalanque. But we'll see here. You got to think at this point, there's a lot of high priority picks still available.
Oh yeah.
For the next playstyle, I don't think it's Scylla this early on. Obviously, it's banned. They'll take the Sylvanus, which is kind of the go-to support to pair with the Xbalanque here. But he is deficient in terms of dealing with aggro lanes against him unless their clear is really on point. So don't be surprised to see Titan go with an aggro style of lane. Maybe the Ares or the Ymir to come out here, and indeed it is the Ymir.
Very, very true. There it is. The Ymir is going to be picked up before Titan. We'll see how the rest of their draft goes. They do have one more, and we'll see another pick out of Fnatic before the second round of bans. So this pick is pretty important. They'll pick up the Cupid, as we predicted, into the Xbalanque. Definitely a good counter. So this team has their predictably jungler, support, and hunter done out. So Titan has a solo lane and a mid lane missing. Look for Fnatic to ban out one of those characters.
So Arachne, once again, going to be going most likely to Twig.
Played well.
Yeah, he did very well there. Now, will they have another assassin to pair with this in this game? They're going to ban out the Agni. They're going to take that away. They don't want something that can really fight Zeros probably here as he's trying to grow more and more custom.
Exactly.
But as you heard Trick say, they've been scrimming with this this roster swap, or I'm sorry, this lane swap for a couple of months now. So. But Agni very good at attacking the enemy mid laner. Hades banned out by Titan, so a little bit of respect coming out to the way of Maniac.
Hades, a potent pick shown by Maniac and solo laner for Team Solo Mid over in North America. Divios, who will actually be playing today against the Nile after this set of 3, so definitely interesting pick. And this is no surprise, Bart, and I was waiting for it. Once upon a time, Zeros was a jungler for Fnatic and played Vulcan jungle.
Yes.
And it was weird, but it worked because the mechanics on Vulcan were good enough to make it work. Now, we're going to see Zeros play in the mid lane, and Vulcan's natural position is, well, mid or solo, so he's going to work out well. I'm very excited to see this, and I think this will be a better showing for Zeros than we've seen in his first couple of games.
Well, they'll be fighting into a Kukulkan here, so he should have a pretty easy time in the lane. Don't expect too much action there. Well, I guess we do have a Serqet Arachne on the board. Both assassins able to cover ground and set up those kills pretty well. And they're going to round this one out with Bakasura, which to me feels like a little bit of a counterpick to Fnatic. Wouldn't be surprised if they were looking that way. But now with the luxury of the counterpick, they'll take Hercules to fight that Bakasura. How do you think this matchup goes, Tom?
The Hercules is interesting because you can build a lot of health on Hercules. And that's really how you're going to combat against a Bakasura. You can't build physical protection because Bakasura's Butcher Blades does a lot of true damage. So by building a lot of health, something that Hercules works well with, especially considering mitigate wounds, it should do well against Bakasura. That said, I don't really think Bakasura loses any solo lane matchup. This one is just not as easy for him as some of the others.
Yeah, and I think you called it right there. It's just the HP pool of Hercules. He just doesn't have good kill potential versus this. And that's normally what you see at a Bakasura. It's just lots of kills.
Exactly.
So we'll see if Confrey can kind of transition this into what he will transition this Bakasura into, considering that it's unlikely he'll find much success in the early game versus Maniacs. Hercules, both teams once again roaming as 5, we've seen kind of be the standard start in Europe especially, but as we've also seen all day today, nothing cooking.
All day. No real aggression going on this early. Just a little bit of, well, they're scouting, Bart. They want to see that nobody's really going to make a move here. So,
well, they 5-man to get that ward up
Exactly.
near the enemy's orange buff. Conversely, for Fnatic, they 5-man to get the blue buff and red buff sightings on the kind of bottom left quadrant of the map there. So both teams have a pretty good idea of where the rest of the squads are, so we'll go ahead and introduce them, as it looks like we will have the meta start, if you will. It's Titan. They'll be the blue squad from the bottom side of your minimap, and the left side of your Spectre UI, wearing the blue trunks. It's Confrey. He'll be your solo laning Bakasura. You have Repikas in the jungle as Serqet. Pretty Prime will be your mid lane Kukulkan, Kanye Life, and Araxi in the dual lane as Ymir and Cupid. But we do have an invade coming out. Hold that thought. Still alive is the big camp. And now it's just a bit of an overextension from Fnatic. Maniac actually smacking Twig around a bit. They get the slow as well, and it's a first blood to the side of Titan. So what appeared to be a normal start, the Bakasura Arachne, for the second game in a row we see it invade, and the second game in a row we see it not come out ahead as the enemy team pulls their mid laner to secure that early camp.
Yeah, Titan must have watched the last set, Bart, and I don't think they have any patience for a slow game. First blood coming out before 20 seconds happens, and that's a big change to 20 minutes.
Well, we have everybody's hogs are down, though. 4 hogs go out in the flurry to try to pick up that orange camp on the backside there. And now we have 6 hogs in the game, all of them on cooldown, 4 of them for over 35 seconds remaining. So the early camp pickups will be a bit slower here throughout this game, and the junglers might fall a little bit behind as a result of it, as the rest of the lanes are going to try to kind of compensate for their slower starts by leeching some of the XP away. So let's see how the teams manage that deficit that they now have.
Definitely something they have to take a look at and be a little careful of. Early back camps happening as well. We saw a little trend of this in North America, starting those back camps happening about a minute before we usually see them because of the rotations junglers have to make. So going early will increase the amount of
What is going on
damage
in the left lane here? Taking a very aggressive angle is Badja. He doesn't see Kanye Life there. They're going to get plenty of damage out onto the Sylvanus here. And now, what's the play for Fnatic? As they try to make their way back, they will be able to do so. A kind of a weird retreat path coming out of Fnatic after an invade, and Titan's able to blow it up a bit. But will it prove to be enough is kind of the question here. Can they wrestle lane control away from this Sylvanus Xbalanque?
Left-hand side. Damage coming out. Right-hand side, we're still seeing two in the solo lane, actually. Jungler still here. Serqet and Bakasura still doing what they're supposed to do. Normally we see that. We see them leave a little bit earlier, but they're instead just going to hang out here the entire time. I guess that's just to combat, make sure they get that blue buff. I really don't want to lose that one as well.
Yeah, Bakasura definitely needs it to keep up the sustain, as does Hercules. Both of them able to damage each other quite a bit. Edge probably to Hercules in the kill potential category, as just the burst from the boulder can take you by surprise as those ganks come in. But Bakasura the only one with any kind of solo kill potential really in this lane, as small as it is, albeit that. But it's after the first one, things have kind of quieted down here. The mid lane, Twig, going to look to leech some XP, and, well, probably worth checking in here is the Vulcan versus Kukulkan is underway. A lot of proxy farming between these two gods.
Mid-cam spawn. Both sides will go to Titan.
Yeah, how about that? That's a nice advantage for them. You see that built up to about 1,000 gold now. Yeah, the rotation's on the mark, so they take that early lead of about a K in experience and gold, and happy to have it. Are the boys in blue, and well, that's a little bit of that perfect play coming out as you see it there. They get 1,000 gold lead out of basically nothing, just being at the right place at the right time. Confree comes over from the soul lane to secure that right side camp, most notably there. So, well, Titan once again, or rather Fnatic once again in the second set here, having the will of the enemy team imposed upon them a bit more than they would probably like.
Wall goes up, looking for an opportunity. Unfortunately, wall not flush with the other wall, so able to just walk around it is the enemy support on the side of Fnatic. Running along with Cupid and Ymir. Definitely a good lane combo. If you get this stun into both of their ultimates, it's pretty much a surefire death.
Sure. Yeah, it's but there's plenty kill potential on either side. The edge definitely to the side of Titan. Takes a little bit more of finesse to maybe get the kill with the Sylvanus Xbalanque lane. I guess if you're a Sylvanus hater, you would say it's not finesse to get the triple CC combination together on him. But nonetheless, it's an advantage to the Ymir Cupid. As you mentioned, there's just tremendous burst in CC out of these two. And, well, speaking of CC and burst, that's what Repicos is looking to set up here with Pretty Prime. Looking for that taunt into the spirit of the 9 wins out of Kukulkan. Kanye Life here, he's going to back, I think, to probably try to bait Vulcan here. They want them to think that the Ymir's out of the equation as he rotates out and get the Serqet to rotate in behind Zeros, and Zeros playing forward. Pretty Prime may have shown his hand there as he comes forward aggressively after that squall, but now here comes the initiation. Holding, no, nothing coming out. Wisely, Titan did not take a swing at that one, and they retain their ultimates and their CC potential. Well played.
That's a good play coming out from Zeros, and this is sort of what I was talking about, Bart. A little more comfortable on this character than we might see him on some others. He definitely looked a little more comfortable on Scylla over Kukulkan, thus the Scylla ban against him. This character, Vulcan, is something that we've seen him play in the past, even his old position in jungle, and after seeing the Serqet come in, uses that backfire, and then drops the meatball on himself, knowing that Serqet is a melee character, going to have to come and close the gap for that damage. Dropping that meatball on himself, Magma Bomb's going to knock them back, so it's a deterrent. Plays that very well and really looks like a tenured player.
Yeah, it goes through the right motions there, does Zeros, but they're going to keep the pressure up here, it looks like, as Ymir once again floating around in this area for Kanye Life. No blink just yet, and he's standing on top of a ward, so unlikely he's going to get much done here, but just goes to show you a little bit of what Titan's trying to accomplish here in this early game is get Pretty Prime ahead and let that Book of Thoth get stacked up, as it looks like he's going to be going for a rush on that bad boy now that he's finished off his power boots.
Both teams waiting, looking at blue. Damage coming out, ultimate coming out from the Serqet and the Bakasura. Bakasura gets the kill before the Xbalanque ultimate even finishes. Hercules falls. Confree is a solo laner a little bit in the lead, and that'll do well. They'll get both the blue buff and the speed buff. Captain Twig trying to do something, but here in the middle lane, also some damage. Vulcan ult's going to hit Cupid just enough to shove him out of the fight. Not going to do anything. Beautiful hit, avoiding the cone stun of the Ymir. Will the ultimate secure the kill? It will not, and teleporting in is another member of Fnatic. Captain Twig doesn't give up, and the Ymir will fall. That'll be another kill for the side of their team.
Well, it looks like Fnatic just kind of gets away with that one there.
Yeah.
It was just a great play by Zeros. He really outperformed the rest of his team in that fight. The Vulcan ultimate lands, really pairs that one up nicely with Badger's ultimate coming out on the Sylvanus, and then is able to avoid the rest of the players and make it back under the safety of his tower, which sets up the second kill for Captain Twig on the rotation in. So nicely played there by Zeros. Definitely the comfort with this god showing, as you've been kind of mentioning throughout the broadcast.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this pick. Vulcan and Zeros doing well and doing the smaller things well. We talked a little bit about some of the other characters last match. Hercules playing support, smaller things you could do there. Hades definitely a target of us when we're talking about smaller things. Vulcan, a character with many intricacies, and Zeros role swapping, not seeming to have too many problems here on this Vulcan. Definitely a little more comfortable here. I think that we might see a Vulcan ban out if they want to really punch the weakness of this team.
Yeah, second set played today, so he has he's playing his third game now, has some nice warm-up under his belt. Kanye Life on the rotation. Can they set it up? There's the ultimate combination coming out. The Fields of Love, the ultimate from the Kukulkan, but it may not be enough to kill Badger, actually. Yes, it is. Arachne is the final in hand, but we'll go down to Reels as well, and now it's Pretty Prime who's under assault from Captain Twig. He perfectly times that stun and is able to get it as the beads run out, and Twig will have another stun available here shortly. There's a wall up. There's the freeze. Kanye still living, but no, he gets run down between Reels and Captain Twig, and Fnatic, they kind of collapse on top of Titan as they try to make the hot plays there with the Kukulkan ultimate. Not happening today, and Fnatic squares the board and kills, and with this gold Fury, if they're able to secure it, we'll be even in gold overall as well, bringing the net worth charts back to even. Repikas trying to say something about that, but Serqet, oh, you see just what one hit from Xbalanque can do to that character.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming out from Xbalanque. That's going to be the objective for Fnatic, and they'll put them, well, technically in the lead. 500 gold, they are senior, and 1,100 experience as well. Not really a tangible lead, but something to take home, as Fnatic hasn't had too good of a day thus far. Playing previously a game, or a best of three rather, against Trig Esports, now starting their best of three against Titan. Fnatic looking a little bit better this time around, despite being victim of First Blood.
Important kill that came out there onto that Kukulkan. Pretty Prime's rotation. It's important that they were able to secure or kill onto him and have him not get that kill, as it were. Slows down that Book of Thoth timing quite a bit. So the longer that they can keep that item off of that god, the kind of double contribution from his passive as well is basically the same as the item. Both of them, both the item and the god's passive contribute additional magical power for the amount of mana that you have. So it's a huge power spike for Kukulkan, and slowing it down just keeps Fnatic's kind of ability to exert their will around the map a little bit stronger, as their team is a bit more late game focused perhaps than Titans here, but both of these squads fairly evenly matched. Really the first time we're seeing that today in terms of relative strengths within the game. You know, the rest of the day it's been one team has had the significant late game advantage here. Fnatic with the edge, but not by a huge amount.
Mid-cam spawning rather soon. We're about almost 10 minutes in, so teams should be making their way towards that area. Right now, teams really looking for a setup. Mid-camps actually just went down, so teams will react after that. Fnatic taking the right-hand side in spades, 4 people deep, or 3 people deep, 1 member in each lane. The Hunters are rotating a little bit. Xbalanque giving chase onto this Cupid in the jungle. And it looks like Fnatic wanted to sort of make it a thing, but Titan knew better. Arachne being a little bit safe and slinking back into the jungle. Serqet,
he's deep, yeah, but they're not going to be able to find that pluck. Xbalanque and Cupid, they're toeing off against each other a little bit, as we would expect to see at this stage in the game.
Yep.
Cupid pushed it under tower for the moment at least, but that's just Reels dumping his mana as he's looking to head back to the base. And, well, things progress as usual, I suppose. It's a dual orb for Vulcan here. Looking for that mid-game damage out of this item. It's risky, though. He's going to be losing half of the stacks on that bad boy every time he dies, but it is fairly cheap. Kukulkan as well hasn't. Oh, hold that thought. Mid lane, Zeros, the backfire. And Zeros is A-okay. A little bit off the mark. We're Pretty Prime and Kanye Life.
All right, Bart, I know I've mentioned it a lot, but just the knowledge of the character, the mechanics, backfiring, being used perfectly.
And, well, guess what Confrey has? 2 items, and he's going to dive under tower. It's Power Boots and Ickfile with a sprint that wasn't even used there, and he finds himself a kill.
Ickfile, so powerful, so potent, so popular.
Oh, we have a big initiation over here in the mid lane, as finally going down to zeros, but it takes yet another rotation to do it. Speaking of diving under tower, Twig looking for an angle there onto Confrey, but wisely will fall back. If that was Xing, he was dead.
Yeah, not making the correct dive choice right there. He's going to suffer a lot of damage, but here comes a little bit of triage on the side of the Titan. They're going to bring their entire team, with the exception of their hunter, into the solo lane over here just to make sure that nobody really pushes down this tower. Fnatic has already lost their tower following that kill by Bakasura. He took Hercules' tower. That's really the reason. One of the reasons you pick Bakasura is how quickly he shreds that tower. You give him an inch and he'll take a mile in your tower.
Even with the early Gold Fury going to the side of Fnatic, they find themselves down by almost 1,000 gold here. And they have a tower down as Titan, to their credit. But that's only 500 gold as opposed to the 1,000 income that Fnatic had from objectives. So what that means is basically Titan is just getting a lot more of the map, and they're killing the right targets at the right times. And they've built themselves a kind of real lead, not a lead in objectives that can come back the other way as the game momentum swings, but truly have outfarmed Fnatic at this point. So we'll see how Fnatic's able to back.
Good setup, but not enough to provide a kill. Again, Vulcan backfiring out of damage. He needs to be a little more aggressive, I'd say, tossing out more meatballs and stuff. Has the ultimate available to him, might have been able to do something. Mid camps are spawned. Kukulkan drops the tornado, and that'll be enough to really force Captain Twig out of there. Can't really wade in that damage.
30 seconds for the Gold Fury to come back up here. Mid camps on the right side look to be about 15 seconds away on their own right. So a couple of objectives coming up around the map. Looks like Fnatic will have their share of this right side camp, though, as Vulcan and Arachne are ready to clean that one up. Ymir for Kanye Life. He's going to start waddling over that way, but he's not going to be in time. Just going to soak up some XP in the mid. And, well, the next play likely will be some kind of look for a gank into the Gold Fury as she makes her way back onto the map now.
Farming in the middle lane. No real surprise. Kukulkan just dropping the tornadoes. Really passive laning character is this Kukulkan. Going to head over to the Gold Fury and ward it out. So
finally got his Toth done.
He finished the Thoth.
Took him a while, but he's got it done here. Badja could be some trouble. They're looking to clean him up as they move into the Gold Fury here. And with that Replicas ultimate out on top, should be easy to secure. And now Titan have an opportunity for a Gold Fury. They use their ultimate on a Twig. Pretty prime. He's going to ult out and Twig with a Heart Bomb as well. Maybe enough to kill him. One more in hand. No, it's not there. No dot. Kanye Life may have the right angle, though. Zeros gets chopped up by Confrey, who this is one of those moments where the team goes, oh no, they have a Bakasura. he rotates over and finds a really high priority kill onto the Vulcan. Another character that can disrupt this Gold Fury attempt pretty easily. And now Titan, with Badja down on the side of Fnatic, they have a pretty clear window here to take this bad boy and add the gold to their coffers, where they have already a 1,200 gold lead. Now they go in on a Maniac. Boulder, doesn't matter, comes over the top, not finding any kills. It does! On the backside. Reels has nice positioning as well. He may be able to find another kill. Kanye with the Jukes, Winged Wand, helping him out. Confrey's going to survive barely as well. Kanye Life will go down. Serqet charging forward again. Maniac, he's going to heal this one back. And Titan may have overstayed their welcome. Here comes Fnatic. Fnatic may be able to actually get a tower off of this push if they're mindful of the timing here. But no, they're going to go to the right side here. Oh, they're going to Fire Giant? Oh, my.
They're pushing him to the right side. We're looking at the siege on the mid tower, which is minion exclusive as Fnatic lines up, and you called it, Bart. They are looking at that Fire Giant. You've got Cupid and Serqet lurking in Bakasura somewhere in the backside. Captain Twig trying to provide a little bit of distance, not able to do it. Gonna escape without his life. Ataraxia gets the kill with the Heart Bomb. Xbalanque forced out. He's going to go ahead and get a little bit aggressive. Turning around onto the Bakasura. Oh! There's the ultimate. That'll force Baka into the wrong way, but still no cohesion. Reels does get the kill, and that'll be enough.
Pretty prime breaks the team up a little bit with that tornado. Ultimate comes out. Maniac, yes. He's going to go down here as well unless the healing kicks in time. He gets one tick. Oh, no. Can they not kill Maniac? The ultimate from Ymir is going to be enough there. Kanye Life able to secure that one. Zeros. He's going to be forced out of this party. Badja only about half of his HP and a quarter of his mana remaining, but Titan says, you know what, let's stop all this shenanigans, and they leave the Fire Giant alone, and they're happy to go home with a 2,500 gold and XP advantage for the moment. Gold Fury, she's still down for another 3.5 minutes, so it's just going to be these left side camps that they're able to secure. As a result, Titan, you know, they maybe a little bit of a dangerous situation for them. Had Fnatic captured that Fire Giant and taken some towers, they could have easily snowballed this one in their favor. Titan gets out of a sticky situation nicely.
Central theme song of this game, staying too long. Titan overstayed their welcome at the Gold Fury. Fnatic got to, well, clean them up. Fnatic stayed too long on the Fire Giant, and Titan got to clean them up. So both teams a little bit untimely with their aggression, choosing perhaps the right decision making, but the wrong timing coming out from both teams here. Titan definitely looking good. Fnatic looking good as well. Titan looking about 2,000 gold better, I suppose. 2,400 gold, 2,200 experience as we approach the 17-minute, and Titan leading by 3 kills.
Look at Thaw still ticking on up for Kukulkan. He's going to be looking for his Warlock Sash as well, so double stacking, nothing surprising there. Keep it passive and keep it farmy for the Spirit Dragon there in the mid lane. It's Oboe completed for Bakasura on the side of Comfrey, so looking to, similar to what we saw to the Vamana with this pickup, wants to fight multiple targets. It's not really that much of a farm accelerator, is Chain Lightning in this game. It's really more of a team fighting item. So look for him to get active soon.
Again, riding with Kukulkan. It seems every time we there's a lull in the action bar, we take a look at Kukulkan drop a tornado.
Well, you know what he's going to be doing.
One of the things I really like is the communication
there's an
right
initiation.
here. I was just about to talk about the stun into Kukulkan ult, and they do it right on cue. Beautiful play coming out of Titan. Kill goes to the jungler. Ultimate coming out from Vulcan. Gonna hit nobody. Meanwhile, the Hercules boulder will hit too. Captain Twig gets a kill for his team on the side of Fnatic. And will it be enough? The answer is no. Bakasura's barking down that tower. Kits Doomorb in half. Vulcan falls down as well. 2 members still alive on the side of Fnatic. Well, you got 3 wearing blue, all for Titan, and they're still here right in the middle lane, Bart. And they're barking down, and they want this structure.
Xbalanque forced back now as he takes a lot of damage from Arachne in that fight. Araxie's ultimate not on the mark to find the kill, but does do a nice job of letting them stand and fight in an aggressive position right on the outskirts of the tower. And now, Pretty Prime and the rest of Titan should be able to push in and take this tier 1 as their own. Arachne is finding herself some free farm on the left side of the map. Captain Twig nicely doing a job of spreading it out here, but they should be able to rally in time should Titan to save their tier 1 left side. Indeed, you see her, Captain Twig, already recalling now. So, well, Gold Fury coming back up in about a minute. That's likely we're going to see these teams butt heads again, but Titan takes a fight here at 18.5 minutes and are able to secure that tier 1 and continue to grow their lead now up to about 3,000 gold.
Bart, they did it right when I mentioned it. The Ymir the Blink freeze Kukulkan ultimate is on point the entire game. They haven't missed one.
Yeah.
And this is sort of what you're used to seeing out of Titan and what you need to be looking for if you're a team playing against Titan. This cohesion. They really don't play like 5 separate players. They play as one unit, and Kukulkan sort of treats that stun as his own. Pretty Prime's going to mention in comms, stun now and just trust that it's going to happen as he presses his ultimate.
Yeah, you saw basically the exact same setup coming out of Fnatic in the last series, and well, you're seeing it executed really to a T here by Titan. They haven't really failed, or they have not failed to convert yet. So we'll see if they continue this trend, as they may have another one set up here. No, just off the mark there. Badger takes quite a bit of damage, but not enough to get the kill. Doesn't matter, dies to the Serqet poison. And now it's Pretty Prime trying to zone as Reels presses that gas pedal and moves forward. The Vulcan ultimate on target on the backside of that fight, and Reels has done an absolute bang-up job here at killing 2 members.
Beautiful.
And Fnatic executes that one perfectly. They've run down Titan, catch them unawares, and that Vulcan ultimate plus the flank from the Hunter does absolute work, and they get a Gold Fury now of their own. They'll take back about half of the advantage that Titan has built up so far.
Now, I think that's a testament to the 2 types of teams that we have here. We talked a lot in the last set where we saw Fnatic play about late game versus early game comps. That's really not the story here, but the story here is really execution and one-time shot versus extended fight. And as we see Bakasura going in for his extended fight, Titan is really execution-based as Serqet kills out Captain Twig. Good pick-off for Titan. Titan is really, we mentioned it, Ymir freeze into a big ultimate. They're very single execution based, whereas Fnatic can chase and provide those kills with the Xbalanque and the Captain Twig on the Spider. You can extend your fight a lot more. You watched Reels take out Kukulkan Kukulkan did nothing but move around in circles. Once that tornado and the ultimate is gone out of Pretty Prime, there's nothing else he can do. Reels,
Right.
Captain Twig can continue to fight after their stuff is on cooldown. Those are the two. That's the big difference between these two lineups.
Yeah, Reels was trying to run down Ataraxia, and Pretty Prime was there, like throwing an in-hands and throw out a Squall, which didn't do anything, obviously, with the Sprint 3 active. And they both kind of realized right there that Xbalanque could easily kill the Dragon. Pretty Prime tried to run, but Reels just it only took about 3 in-hands to chew through the Kukulkan there. So, yeah, Pretty Prime, a little bit out of position in that last fight. And it results in Titan spilling a little bit more than they would have liked. You're giving back not too much to Fnatic, but definitely the Gold Fury helping cut their lead basically in half now. As well, it's double stack for both the mid laners, Vulcan and Kukulkan. Hey, how about that? Warlock Sash, do more to Warlock Sash and Book of Thoth. Your Oboe, Iqvile, and now Magi's Blessing for the Bakasura. So continuing to go for this combat build, looking to fight and take the fight is Confrey. Really almost like an initiator for this team now with this build that he has going for himself.
Yeah, it looks like sort of a different mindset that we saw out of Zelia's Bakasura. Zelia's Bakasura likes to 1v1 players and take their tower and then show up and provide some cleanup. Confrey's going to do a little bit of the opposite. He's going to jump in, get the cripple out of the entire squad so that you really can't get any dashes out or whatnot, looking at Xbalanque specifically. But more importantly, lower the kill threshold for the rest of his team. Confrey's going to go in, lower the total HP, and then you'll see Serqet and Arachne on that Cupid really lay waste. And I think that's the mindset behind this.
Well, Reels, he wants to bully Ataraxia. He has the 2-level advantage. You've seen him a couple times trying to walk out of the jungle and try to hit a couple of pot shot bolos, see if he can get a lucky crit to come out, even though he has a pretty low percentage out of just that short sword. But
just about 5.
Or the dagger, 5% out of that hidden dagger. So, but 4-0-4 to the 3-1-3. Both hunters really finding themselves a lot of farm and a couple of kills in this game.
Teams returning to a little bit of passivity just for a moment. Ultimate coming out from Xbalanque as Reels tries to get the 1v1 fight using the dash to catch up. Sprint is active. Will he be able to catch it, or will Ataraxia juke enough? Heart Bomb and Tower, not going to be enough to kill him. And a beautiful performance by Reels X will get him the solo kill. Archer is stopping him.
Yeah, he doesn't make it back there. You know, he almost dropped that kill. He didn't preemptively beads, actually waited for the ultimate to kind of stun him. Was about a step behind, and you know, you kind of called it there. A couple more jukes at Ataraxia could have maybe made out of that one alive, but Reels with a steady hand able to find that kill. So still does convert, but it could have been a dangerous situation. And now instead of recalling, he's actually going to be able to take this tier 1 on the left as a fight is breaking out here around the Fire Giant. So a lot of room made for this hunter. Reels, he'll take a tier 1 and pressure a tier 2.
Oh wow!
Certainly. What will the Cupid do? 10 more seconds remaining. Reels will be knocking at the tier 2. And now as the team rotates back towards the middle part of the map, you see him fake that recall again. It's just going to be the Ymir committing here. And Fnatic's did a nice job of spreading this one out. They've made tremendous room for Xbalanque. He'll get at least half of this tower. He may stay around for the whole thing. He'll lose his life for it, but it may be not a bad trade here.
Worth it.
Not going to make it to time is Ymir. Reels, the presence of mind.
Yeah, I mean, those branching bolas, so much damage. Don't forget, folks, branching bola is ranked all the way up, is 50 extra damage, and it works on towers.
Right, yeah.
It is just, you just become a chainsaw, and in one kill, I love that. I love that conversion part. One kill, Reels knew when to kill it. I mean, as far as the information that did he know that Cupid would be down for that perfect amount of time? Honestly, he probably did. So he goes for that kill, takes it, and takes 2 towers. Talk about a small window of opportunity. He definitely climbed through that one.
Yeah, converted really, really nicely there. Did Fnatic in what was once Titan's game.
Oh, yeah.
Now is in Fnatic's control. They take the gold advantage off of a Gold Fury, 2 towers, and just a really, really great about 6-minute period for them, controlling the map nicely. Titan, what was once seemed to be guaranteed kills on this Ymir Kukulkan setup, has really run dry now for about 5 minutes. So when are they going to get themselves back into this one with another pick? It's got to be soon, as a Gold Fury will be back up in 3 seconds.
Cupid trying to get some farm over there in what was previously his lane, but with no towers left to speak of, really can't call it his property much anymore. Fnatic really spread out, as is Titan. All members of respective teams sort of spread out, trying to find their role. Reels X getting a little bit aggressive on. He's going to get aggressive using his Rising Jaguar. 1 against 2, that might have been a little bit too confident, and he'll fall down. A little too confident there, Reels X. 2v1, not something that you can pull off right now.
Oh, Reels.
blink in from the Ymir.
My, no. That was a blink from the Kukulkan.
Right. That's what I... Honestly, Bart, I used the sound cue. I heard the blink and assumed it was a Ymir.
I was looking at it and I saw him blink and I was like, that's weird.
I will admit when I make a mistake, that certainly was a mistake, but Titan not making any mistakes, sneaking out that uncontested Gold Fury, taking out the only member Fnatic has on the left-hand side of the map, which was hi-rez, opening the window for them to pick up that objective. That's going to do wonders for them as it gives them their lead back. Fnatic had owned it for just a small second, 1,600 gold going the way of Titan. 15-11 read the kills as we approach the 27th minute in our Game 1 right here in Titan versus Fnatic.
Captain Twiggy here for this Arachne. Has been fairly quiet this game, it feels like.
Yeah, he has.
Hasn't really had that like dive the backline presence. Maybe some of that coming out that it's a Serqet that he's kind of fighting into in a similar role, and she has a lot of Trump kind of CC for that Arachne. When without a Magi's Blessing, not much you can do. Repicos.
Yeah. He wants the value.
He'll find the one taunt point. They'll keep them locked into position for a moment as Confrey tries to run this one down. Not able to do it in time. But
look how fast that Bakasura attacks.
Oh my, surging forward here is Fnatic, and they will find the kill into Repicos. He was overextended. Confrey, he's trying to make his way out. Hogging away minions, reels in the front lines. Probably not where he wants to be.
That's what you were talking about, Bart.
There
you
it
wanted
is.
Captain Twig to dive. He's chasing, but over the wall comes Ymir. He gets a blink. The good knockup from Vulcan is going to be decent enough. Another knockup from Sylvanus. Reels quietly takes the tower in the back. Sylvanus will secure a kill on Ymir, probably a little accidentally with those wisps. So a kill go the way of Badger. And his team, Fnatic, will slink back into the jungle, find themselves at Fire Giant, and with Kanye life down, this might be the perfect opportunity that Fnatic has.
Oh, they found out
take it.
They force beads out of the Hunter there, which means they can re-aggress anytime they want to and force an awkward position on Titan. Confrey tries to make a play, but just gets smacked around. There's the ultimate from Kukulkan. It's enough as Maniac dies to the bomb. So a little bit of a nice play for them. They'll really only just prevent the Fire Giant buff from going onto the Hercules there, as 4 members of Fnatic are going to be able to push through these towers. Reels on the front line there. The Xbalanque hitting really, really hard. Really no one can stand up to him at the moment. So the final tower's likely to fall here mid. 2 towers remaining as the tier 2 on the right side goes down. Phoenixes will all be exposed after this push. 28.5 minutes in, and Fnatic, they're going to take the first real advantage of this game with about a 4,000 gold lead once all is said and done.
6-1-5 is a slash line for the British Hunter on the side of Fnatic, and hi-rez really coming into himself this time around. Bart, I definitely think it's the choice of character. Cupid, different mindset. Not going to say hi-rez can't play it, but you give him something like Xbalanque, a more basic attack, going to fight you, cleanup-oriented character, and hi-rez absolutely showing what he could bring to a team, doing very, very well. Leading his team in kills, leading the game in kills, the only player at 6 or more kills. More importantly, Bart, that will fill out his passive, giving him 5 times 6, which is 30. 30 physical power.
Here's our blinking Kukulkan going in once again with that melee range slow. Well, Kanye life, even with the initiation coming out, finds a counter initiation, but now finds himself on an island. Here comes Confrey. He can do a lot of damage with the oboe here, but you can see the sustain from the Sylvanus with the Lotus Crown just negates everything that Confrey did, and now it's Reel's show as he finds one, and you see what he's capable of. Now, 30 minutes into this game, it's why we keep on saying the team with Xbalanque has the late game advantage. It's this right here. Look at those crits and look how fast they're coming out. All the bonus damage really stacking up here. Deathbringer will be out shortly for hi-rez as well. It is 15,500 net worth, where he leads all players by a really actually pretty large margin. 1,500 gold above Confrey in the next farm position. So hi-rez putting the team on his back here. They're going to take the tier 2 mid and a Phoenix as well, it looks like.
We go ahead and get that Phoenix. They'll undoubtedly pick up this tier 2 tower. Really no reason not to as we cross the half-hour mark in our contest. Well, actually, I guess there is a reason not to, because Fnatic walks right past it and heads towards the right-hand side. Phoenix, they do have this Fire Giant buff, folks. Don't forget it gives a lot of power, of course, yada, yada, yada. But more importantly, it provides extra damage against structures. So that Phoenix was alive at some point, but I might have missed it.
It's still not going after the tier 2 in mid is Fnatic. Now they're going to go take their consolation prize, it looks like. Just a whole bunch of gold.
Back camps, more important.
The back camps.
Mid tower finally under attack right now. And again, that Fire Giant buff and the raw power of this team just chewing through. It feels like it was just a minute ago that we were talking about Titan really securing their lead. Now it's 5,600 the other way. Ultimate coming out. Fnatic wants this tower, and they also want some blood. Blink in from Kanye Life is going to prove fruitless as he gets no stuns whatsoever. Serqet will push somebody out, but Bad gets a kill onto the support. Maniac kills his enemy. You've got a support and a solo laner killing their direct enemy. And the counterparts of their team will slink back. 3 members of Titan in the base. Fnatic has taken out all of the structures here for Titan. And with 71,000 gold in hand, they are looking to aggress onto Titan's Titan. The team in the yellow, representing the right-hand side of the map, will be the victors here. 16-17. They made sure they won the kills at the end of it part as well. So game 1 goes in spades to Fnatic.
Where did Comfrey's damage go? He built a Magi's Blessing and then all of a sudden fell off a cliff. You saw in those last like 3 engagements, he comes in, drops the Bakasura ultimate. He's cleaving 4 or 5 members of the enemy team, and there's just nothing cooking for him. Just couldn't make it happen after such a dominant early game. The Magi's Blessing kind of combat build ended up hurting him. The more assassin-oriented build maybe would have potentially been able to turn that game for them, but let's go ahead and take a look back at this one at the first blood. And well, it was a game that was definitely dictated in many ways by this first blood, right? We thought that this was going to be just a huge game for Bakasura. Look at the hog shenanigans. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hogs used, but this minion just too wily. And so anyway, we see Bakasura gets this first blood onto Hercules here, and that should set up just a completely dominant early mid-game, which it did, but Comfrey unable to kind of transition that into a just dominant position for his team, and as a result...
Are you being haunted by the Scylla music?
Yeah. As a result,
I can't.
It allows Reels to really come into his own here. As our player of the game, Reels EX.
No.
From the side of Fnatic.
No surprise there.
No.
But our player of the game is Reels. 7-1-8 KDA for Xbalanque. And again, as I reiterated, the British Hunter just more his style this time around. Xbalanque, of course, is a powerful character by itself, but piloted with the mindset of Reels, which is just... started off for me, boys, and I will finish it. I promise here. This is exactly what we're taking a look at. You know, he gets some help from his mid laner, but that's what it is. Lower the kill threshold so I can come in and I will hit 6 basics in a row. I promise. And that's what happens each and every time. He misses occasionally, but if it's low enough, he'll be able to convert no problem. So Real's definitely the shining star for his team in this matchup.
Yeah, definitely kind of felt like a carry this game.
Oh, yeah.
With the Xbalanque. Definitely was, we'll make the time, we'll make the space. He got the edge on Ataraxia. He forced the rest of the game basically with these initiations. As you see, he's really standing a little bit closer to the front lines in those team fights than you normally would expect out of the Hunter, making sure to get 3 or 4 shots and let everyone know what it feels like to get hit by the Xbalanque so that when that fight starts to fall apart, they really know that they have to scatter from him.
And interesting thought right there. Getting into the head of the enemy is definitely what Reels was doing right there. And we'll get ahead of this next one. First game in the books. Fnatic up 1. We'll see if they can end it in 2 or not. We'll be right back with some more SPL right after this.